my trick. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Stop talking, let me go. Our time together always ended up in war. Every whisper made you jealous, and that from the start. It is nice to see you shouting out for throwing me out. No excuse.
Good morning, everybody. How are we all doing? It's September the 15th, 2022. Nice early one today. We're off to Brentford, so t'other side of London, West London-ish. Got to get loaded just around the corner, so nice and early, as you can see. The dark mornings have drawn in. So yeah, I'm going to just get right around to it. Get straight into the action. So see you in a bit. Okay, people. A little warning come up on the dash. Let's check that out. Let's get moving. So what we're gonna do, spin it around in the yard here. Gotta move my car, and then we can get on our merry little way. Song stuck in my head. I just love it when that happens. Better turn the lights off. Be right back, guys. Just gonna move my shitty little car.
They're all having to be at one place now.
I didn't ask for the radio to come on, so why did you come on? Anyways, it's only going to be a short little clip. Just going to quickly show you how far I have to go every morning to get loaded. So this is ridiculous how far we have to go. You'll be amazed. Let's get out of here. So anyway, how are we all this morning? I am spiffing. Had a really good night's sleep last night. You know, one of those ones where you literally fall asleep instantly, and then you wake up just feeling like $1 million. Suppose. So yeah, that's good. Always a good start to the day. Oh, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Silly me. Silly me. Oh Jesus. I moved my car, I forgot to put the lights on. Silly. Good job, there's loads of street lights. My bad. Might have to edit that out. Nah, whatever. It is what it is. We all make silly little mistakes sometimes, don't we? Cannot be helped. I is only human. Brilliant English there. Anyway, so yeah, basically this is pretty much it. You're just going to go around the corner here, turn left, left again. You there? I know. Interesting stuff, I hear you say. Interesting stuff. Oh, even took the dog out like stupid o'clock this morning. Like it's now 5. I was out walking the dog at 3:30 this morning. I usually walk every morning anyway, but I'm not usually that early. I'm usually walking her about between 4:30 and 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And if I'm starting earlier, usually the missus will take her for a little walk. What dog have I got, you may ask? Pastel Terrier. She is a small dog. She's about... They basically look like a Jack Russell, except for they're black. They're not white and tan. So you can get them in brown as well. Nice little dog. Predominantly used for catching rats and mice, rodents and stuff like that. They are pretty good little hunting dogs. My one is obsessed with it. She goes in that garden and she's constantly searching. She hasn't caught any of recent, but a few years ago she caught a massive rat. It was huge, much to my partner's disgust. When I say this rat was huge, it was like, it's probably about half the size of her, to be fair. The dog, that is. Oh, missus. Oh dear. Kill me if you say that. She doesn't watch my videos, so sod her. You watch, this will be the one that she does watch now. Alright, so here we are. Oh, something fell. It's too dark. Right, I'm just going to quickly pull over because I've got a little warning light come up. And I'm going to have a quick check, see what that's all about. And I'll turn you back on when we get inside. Okay, see you soon. Welcome to another episode of Truck It Proud. So today I'm going to be talking to you about finding your first job. So I get a lot of questions coming through, basically people saying I've got my license, I'm applying for jobs, they're all asking for experience, what can I do, how do you get your first job, yada yada yada, etc, and so forth and so on. So basically, it is disheartening. It is a long, lengthy process, and it can be quite off-putting. You have to persevere with it. You have to keep trying. Sometimes it's worth even applying for a certain job, maybe 2 or 3 times the same job. And maybe they'll pick it up and say, oh well, this guy's eager, he keeps applying for this job, he must be really interested, and they might give you a chance, they might give you an interview. The problem with it is it's very frustrating, because I remember when I was looking for my first job, and every single job that you look at, minimum 2 years experience required, minimum 2 years, you're driving the same thing. Well, how am I supposed to get the experience if I don't get the chance anybody to drive? So I get it, it is annoying, but like I say, there are people out there that are willing to give you the chance. You've got to be mindful that these smaller companies are usually not so willing to give out these chances, because if you do end up damaging one of their vehicles, and that vehicle's off the road for a few days or a week, however long it is, they could potentially be losing thousands of pounds. So you've got to bear that in mind. That's why usually it is the bigger companies, in my experience, that do take on the newer drivers. And also you've got to look at the types of work that you're going to be applying for. So for example, if you're doing container work or stuff like that, some of the places you go can be quite tricky. It's probably not best suited for a new driver. So it depends. I mean, there are certain container jobs where you're just going from port to port, which is fine. But in my experience on the containers when I did it, you could be going into central London and delivering down a little side alley on a little street, and you've got to know how to reverse. Like, yeah, it's not going to be any good for somebody that's still learning to reverse, if that makes sense. So maybe try like the trunking jobs, you know, where you're going from superstore to superstore, just delivering from one store to another. I'm not talking about like Tesco's or Asda's where you go, there's the distribution centres that send stuff to them. So yeah, bear that in mind. Those are probably the companies that will be the ones that will give you that opportunity. When you're applying, just make sure you put in a cover letter, like why you think you would be a good addition to the company. Explain to them that you're very careful, you always get out and check before you do any manoeuvres. If you feel uncomfortable, you always get somebody to help you reverse. Just show that you understand what is expected as a HGV driver. Obviously when you get a bit more experienced, you can tend to forget and become a bit complacent, and that is when accidents do happen. So just try not to get too comfortable and complacent, because it happened to me, my first little dink. I felt like I knew everything. I felt like I'd had reversing down to a T and yada yada yada, etc, etc. And then it happens, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe I don't know everything. Maybe I should get out and look that time, or maybe I should ask somebody for help. And then usually from there on, you stop making those same mistakes. It's like anything in this industry. If a lorry driver is telling you don't do something, it probably means that they've done that at some point themselves. Not always, but you know, probably 99% of the time. So yeah, I hope this helps you a little bit. I hope that, you know, you can take this away, and you know, maybe you'll apply for some jobs that do say 2 years experience, even though you're not expecting to get a reply and you're not expecting to get it. You never know. Like, if you don't try, then obviously you won't. But there could come something good of it. So just keep going, plow on, and that's it really, guys. I just thought that I'd put that one out there because, like I say, I've been getting a lot of messages saying that you've just got your license and you're really struggling to find jobs. Probably another thing as well is obviously take a look at the area you live in, how many jobs are in the area, and maybe try and go a bit further afield. Maybe, like, for example, where I live, it's a highly populated area, there's a lot of jobs,